Before we even get started, stop what you're doing and hit that subscribe button because Cowboys news is heating up fast, and this latest development could quietly turn into something massive for this team. And the crazy part is, most fans aren't even realizing how serious this could be yet. So let's talk about it. There's a fresh report floating around that the Dallas Cowboys have at least reached out to the Miami Dolphins about linebacker Jordyn Brooks, and immediately, that should grab your attention, not because a deal is done, not because anything is imminent, but because it tells you exactly where this front office's head is at right now. And honestly, it might reveal more about this team's mindset than any press conference ever could. Think about it for a second. This isn't a random name. This isn't just another depth piece. This is a player who would come in and directly impact one of the most important and, let's be real, one of the most questioned position groups on this roster. And the fact that Dallas is even making a call like this suggests something deeper is going on behind the scenes. Because teams don't just casually check in on starting caliber linebackers unless they feel something is missing. And that's where things get interesting. Because from the outside, you could argue the Cowboys already have talent at linebacker. There are guys who can make plays, guys who flash speed, guys who have shown potential. But here's what nobody is saying out loud: potential doesn't win you playoff games. Consistency does. Discipline does. And when the lights get the brightest, when you're facing elite offenses, when one missed assignment can end your season, that's when weaknesses get exposed. And if the Cowboys front office is being honest with itself, they know that position has been up and down. They know there have been moments where the defense didn't look as sharp, as physical, or as reliable as it needed to be. So what do you do if you're serious about contending? You explore upgrades. You pick up the phone. You ask questions. And that's exactly what this feels like. Now let's be very clear here. This is still a rumor. This is not a confirmed trade in progress. This is not a deal that's about to be finalized tomorrow. This is, based on reports, an inquiry, a conversation. But those conversations matter because they don't happen in a vacuum. They happen because there's internal evaluation happening. Coaches are watching film. Executives are analyzing matchups. And someone in that building looked at this roster and said, we might need more here. And that should get your attention because it raises a bigger question. How aggressive are the Cowboys about to be? Are they finally shifting into a true win-now mindset? Or are they just doing due diligence like every team does this time of year? Because if it's the first one, if Dallas is really preparing to push all their chips in, then this might just be the beginning. And that's where Jordyn Brooks becomes more than just a name. It becomes a symbol of a potential shift in philosophy. Now let's talk about the player himself for a second. Brooks is known for his range, his ability to cover ground, his physical presence in the middle of the defense. He's not just a body. He's a tone setter when he's at his best. And imagine plugging that into a defense that already has playmakers at multiple levels. It changes things. It adds flexibility. It gives the coaching staff options. And maybe more importantly, it gives you insurance. Because let's not forget, depth matters over the course of a long season. Injuries happen. Fatigue sets in. And the teams that survive are the ones that can absorb those hits without falling apart. But here's where it gets complicated. Because as exciting as this sounds, there's always a cost. Miami isn't just going to hand over a player like that for nothing. There's going to be a price tag. And for the Cowboys, that's where the real decision comes in. Are you willing to give up draft capital? Are you willing to sacrifice future flexibility for a move that might help you right now? Because that's the trade-off. And this front office has historically been very careful about that. They've built through the draft. They've valued their picks. They've tried to maintain a balance between present success and future stability. So if they're even considering stepping outside of that approach, that tells you something. It tells you they feel the pressure. It tells you they understand the expectations. And let's be honest, the expectations in Dallas are always sky high. This is a fan base that doesn't celebrate almost. This is a team that measures success in championships, not just playoff appearances. And after coming up short in key moments, after seeing opportunities slip away, there's a growing sense that something needs to change. Not a complete overhaul, but a tweak, an adjustment, a move that pushes this team over the edge. And that's why this rumor is so fascinating, because it sits right at the intersection of need, opportunity, and risk. Now let's talk about the locker room, because this is something fans don't always consider right away. Bringing in a player like Brooks isn't just about upgrading talent. It's about sending a message. It tells your current linebackers, Nothing is guaranteed. It tells your defense, we're trying to get better no matter what. And that can go one of two ways. It can light a fire under guys. It can raise competition. It can push everyone to elevate their game. Or it can create tension. It can disrupt chemistry if not handled properly. And that's why these decisions are so delicate. Because football isn't played on paper. It's played in a locker room full of personalities, pride, and emotions. And the best teams find a way to manage all of that while still improving the roster. Now here's another angle that's flying under the radar: scheme fit. Because it's not just about whether Brooks is a good player. It's about whether he fits what Dallas wants to do defensively. And if the Cowboys are making that call, you better believe they've already had those conversations internally. They've already looked at how he would be used, how he would fit alongside the current pieces, how it would change their approach on early downs, on third downs, in coverage situations. This isn't random. This is calculated. And that's why even a simple inquiry can be so revealing. It shows intent. It shows direction. It shows that this team is actively searching for ways to evolve. And that brings us to the bigger picture. What happens next? Because sometimes these talks lead to nothing. Sometimes they're just exploratory. But other times, they're the first domino. They're the beginning of a chain reaction that leads to multiple moves. And if that's the case here, then Cowboys fans need to be ready. Because this roster might not be as locked in as it seems. There could be changes coming. Subtle ones, maybe, but meaningful ones. And the timing of all this is critical. Because as the season approaches, every decision becomes magnified. Every addition, every subtraction, every adjustment, it all feeds into whether this team is ready to compete at the highest level. So when you hear about a potential move like this, don't just brush it off as another rumor. Look at what it represents. Look at what it could mean. Because even if this specific trade never happens, the fact that it's being discussed tells you the Cowboys are not sitting still. They're evaluating. They're questioning. They're looking for answers. And that should both excite you and make you a little nervous at the same time. Excited because it means they're trying to improve. Nervous because every move comes with risk. So now I want to hear from you. Would you make this move if you were running the Cowboys? Would you trade assets to bring in Jordyn Brooks and try to strengthen this defense right now? Or would you trust the guys already on the roster and keep building through the draft? Drop your take in the comments because this is one of those decisions that could go either way, and fans are going to be split on it. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe because if this situation develops, if talks heat up, or if a deal actually gets done, you already know we're going to break it down right here the second it happens.